I'm proud to announce that we've made two arrests in a murder we had Saturday night that occurred at the Happy Holiday Motel on 1617 North Atlantic Avenue. We were called there about 11 o'clock, shortly after 11 o'clock p.m. on Saturday night. It was kind of a little bit of a strange occurrence when we got there. It was real suspicious because the victim in this case at the time had come down from his room and was pounding on the manager's office door asking for help. It appeared he was bleeding. He had a knife in his hand. The manager opened the door, the victim collapsed, dropped the knife, appeared to have some kind of wound to his stomach. As units responded there, started their investigation, went to the room, there was a large amount of marijuana, about $5,000 in cash, and there was a crossbow with a target in the room. So when you get there, you figure it looked like he could have shot himself with the crossbow or whatnot. At the time, we didn't know. Why would you have a crossbow in the room? We know the drugs and the money indicated there was some kind of drug transaction going there. It wasn't personal use, it was a large amount of marijuana. Which time we were trying to find witnesses. We continued to conduct the investigation. We really hinged on the autopsy because could have been an accident, we didn't know. So the autopsy was Sunday morning, and it was determined that the victim unfortunately expired from a gunshot wound to the abdomen. Okay, now we have a homicide. Now what are we gonna do? We started doing our investigation. Our detectives, I would put them up against anybody. They're unbelievable, our robbery homicide detectives. They tracked down a friend of the victim, an acquaintance. His name is Tarek Menemi. I can't really pronounce his last name, 32 years old. We brought him in to interview him and talk to him, at which time he broke down and fully confessed to this homicide as far as how it was supposed to go down was. But let me back up. We also had another arrest yesterday of a Taylor Holcomb Barber. He's the other suspect in this case. To make a long story short and cut to the chase, Tarek and Taylor drove to the hotel to surveil the hotel and see they were planning on doing a burglary. This is all over drugs. The homicide was not supposed to happen, according to Tarek. Taylor goes up to the room to surveil it. Tarek is in the car waiting in the getaway car. He comes running down to the car with a gun, and they flee and leave the area. As we interview Tarek, he says exactly what I told you. We were able to build enough probable cause to get an arrest warrant for Taylor Holcomb Barber, which yesterday we hit his house with a search warrant in Ormond Beach. He was not there. We bowled for his vehicle, and we were able to conduct a traffic stop on him shortly after we executed the search warrant, and we were able to take him into, he voluntarily came to the station to talk with us. As we talked with him, he pretty much confessed to the crime, saying that the victim, the gun went off accidentally. He's trying to make some kind of excuse for what happened. Bottom line is, we have a dead victim, and we have two suspects in custody. It's unfortunate that you have this type of activity, but our victim lived in Ormond Beach, but yet he rents a motel out for a month in December here in Daytona Beach, and then takes some time off and comes back again. These drug dealers look for these mom and pop motels to try, I guess, set up shop and do their drug activity. Won't be tolerated in our city. We're at a war against drugs here, and we've devoted a lot of resources, money to fight drugs, and we've had some huge success, and it's unfortunate that this occurred. But when you have drugs and money involved, and all the people involved know each other, and greed comes into play, and our suspect, Tarek, really has a minor criminal history. Holcomb Barber has an extensive criminal history: armed burglary, grand theft, drugs. He's your typical street thug. Only knows one thing: to sell drugs and use violence to achieve his end game. So they're both in custody. We have closure for the victim, regardless of what he was doing in there with narcotics and money, and we all know it was a drug deal. He didn't deserve to die over this. Nobody deserves to be murdered, and we got at least justice for our victim and closure for his family, because his family's grieving during this difficult time.